The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship race has officially concluded from Phoenix Raceway, and Cory Heim has finally won his first ever Craftsman Truck Series title and picks up his 12th win of 2025. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. We got a lot to talk about from today's race. I just got done watching the truck race from Phoenix Raceway. We got quite a bit to talk about from the event. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's first begin by talking about the driver who picked up the win and the championship tonight, and that, of course, is Cory Heim. In any other format, coming before this format, Cory Heim would have been the champion. Whether it's full season, whether it's the original chase, it doesn't matter. Cory Heim in any other format, in season long, whatever it is, he would have been the champion. But Cory Heim tonight had to race for because, of course, of this system with the one race championship. And we came very close tonight to having disaster. Luckily, disaster and a crisis was averted tonight in the sport because Cory Heim puts it up and does it. Now, Cory Heim was the best of the four trucks all night long. He started up front, started around 5th or 6th position, but he got by a couple trucks early. There was a crash that happened early in the event. I think it was Dawson Sun and Daniel Heimer who crashed on the first lap of the event in turn number 1. And then Caden Honeycutt, who actually was ahead of Cory Heim early, he got a penalty for basically changing lanes at the start and would have to go to the rear of the field. This would give the championship lead to Cory Heim, and pretty much through stage number 1 and stage number 2, Cory Heim would dominate. In fact, he wouldn't dominate ahead of the other championship guys, but would dominate the race and lead the first 2 stages and win stage number 1 and stage number 2. As the race continued on, though, it seemed like Ty Majeski and those guys were gaining just a little bit on Cory Heim, and Heim was starting to lose his edge just a little bit, as Cory Heim's truck was good and cleaner, but wasn't as good in dirty air. Stage 3 comes around, Cory Heim actually loses off pit road, and actually Ty Majeski gets ahead of him off pit road. And I'm thinking at that point, dear God, if Ty Majeski wins this championship, it'll be a really bad look for the sport. We get back going once again green, and Cory Heim has a great restart past Ty Majeski, moves him up the track on the restart, and is able to clear for the race lead, and Cory Heim starts pulling away. But during commercial, with 40 laps to go, Clayton Green has a self spin going into turn number 2, spins out in a self spin, brings out the yellow and the caution. Not sure what Clayton Green is doing. You're many laps down at this point. You should probably get off the racetrack because you're really slow on the track. During the caution, a lot of trucks that come down pit road, including Lane Riggs, Raja Karuf, Tyler Reif, I believe Gio Ruggiero would all come down pit road, and many of the leaders would stay out, including all 4 championship contenders, Cory Heim, Ty Majeski, Caden Honeycutt, and Tyler Ankrum. On the ensuing restart, Lane Riggs got a really good restart, move his way up to the front, and a big crash ended up taking place going into turn number 4, coming down the front straightaway. Andres Perez seemed like might have clipped the inside wall, and a lot of cars got collected in the wreck, including, I believe, Brent Cruz. Actually, Brent Cruz had an axle failure, happened on his truck when he had a really good truck tonight. Tough break for him. Ben Rhodes, Andres Perez, Gio Ruggiero would all end up getting caught in the big crash and incident. Bailey Curry also got a ton of damage as well. His night would come to cause a big hit for Andres there, hitting the inside wall. Tough break there after having a decent run tonight. Tough break for all those guys that were showing some decent speed in the event. On the ensuing restart, Cory Heim got a really good restart, was able to clear for the lead, but Lane Riggs, who was on fresher tires, got a great run on Cory with about 30 laps to go and took the race lead. But Cory was in the catbird seat for the championship at that point and would be in second position. And he's actually was starting to pull away from Ty Majeski as the run progressed and went on. But all of a sudden, with 4 laps to go in the race, Connor Mosack has a tire that's basically going down at that point. He has a fender that's basically rubbing on the tire, and NASCAR is saying, you need to get off the racetrack, get off the track. Connor Mosack refuses to get off the racetrack, and with 3 laps to go, the caution comes out because Connor Mosack hits the outside wall. NASCAR would end up calling the 81 team to the hauler for the incident, and I'm pretty sure penalties are going to be coming from the 81 team. Because you can definitely tell that's race manipulation, because guess what team he drove for? McAnally Hilgeman Racing. Guess what team Tyler Ankrum drives for, who was competing for the championship? McAnally Hilgeman Racing. That was clear as day race manipulation right there, and NASCAR was not happy about it, and justifiably so. And that could have cost Cory Heim the championship, because Cory Heim was going to easily lock up the championship, but McAnally was trying to manipulate the outcome of the race in event, despite the fact that Tyler Ankrum did not deserve the championship this year. They tried to manipulate the outcome of this race and event, and I'm not a big fan of that kind of stuff happening. I was against it in Martinsville last year in Cup. Totally uncalled for, unacceptable by Connor Mosack, and ridiculous that a driver can do that and affect the outcome of the event. Everyone would then come down pit road, and a lot of guys would actually come down and take 2 tires. Blaine Riggs would take 4, and Cory Heim would take 4, while Ty Majeski, Tyler Ankrum, Caden Honeycutt, all the championship contenders, guys like Tyler Reif took 2 tires, they would all end up basically taking 2 tires. At that point, I'm thinking Cory Heim's going to lose the championship. On the ensuing restart, though, a lot of things end up happening. Cole Butcher, Stephen Parsons decide to stay out and try to basically use their old tires. On the restart, Cory Heim lays back tiny bit, it looks like, and gets a huge run on the field. And going into turn number 1, they're 7 wide going into turn number 1 with Cory on the bottom of the racetrack and gets by nearly everybody. Almost takes the race lead, goes from nearly 7 to 1st. Ty Majeski gets the lead after the 7 wide move, one of the most crazy moves I've ever seen at Phoenix Raceway. And Cory Heim moves up to 2nd. As they're coming back to the white flag with Majeski having a lead, another big crash ends up taking place when it looks like Tyler Ankrum gets into Cole Butcher, and a lot of cars end up getting collected in the crash, including, I believe Tanner Gray got a ton of damage, Grant Enfinger got a ton of damage, Tony Breidinger might have gotten collected in the crash, and a couple other drivers like Roger Kroof would also end up getting in the crash as well. And then we get back to overtime number 2. And Cory Heim gets the restart of his life, makes the move to the inside, gets by Ty Majeski, takes the race lead, starts taking off. He gets back to the white flag, has a really good lead, and coming off the final corner after having one of the most dominant Truck Series seasons and the most dominant season in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series history and one of the most dominant seasons in NASCAR history, Cory Heim comes off the corner, picks up his 12th win of 2025, his 23rd career NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series win, and wins the 2025 Craftsman Truck Series Championship. Well-deserved championship for Cory Heim. He's earned it this year. Again, the fact that Heim had to race for it is ridiculous on its own. It's a major issue with the playoff format itself. But because the driver that rightfully won the championship got it, I'm not going to completely criticize the playoff format. If I have not won the championship, I would have probably been raging on here. But luckily, the most deserving guy won. In every statistical category this year, Cory Heim was the rightful champion. He had 12 wins, 19 top 5s, 21 top 10s, led nearly 1,600 laps this year, and now has led the most laps in a single season ever. He had a 5th place average finish, I'm pretty sure, and he absolutely earned the championship. He only failed to finish outside the top 10 in 4 races this year. In some of those races, he was in the picture to pick up the win and victory. And I'm so happy that Cory Heim was able to get it done tonight. At least one of the most deserving drivers is able to get it done. We'll have to see if Connor Zilch can do it tomorrow night because he deserves a championship over everybody else in the field. But well-deserved for Cory Heim. Congratulations to him on winning his first Truck Series championship. He earned it tonight, put together a great and awesome performance this evening. A well-deserved championship, dominated that restart once again, was absolutely impressive and incredible. Again, congratulations, Heim, on winning the Craftsman Truck Series championship. Gets it done. So happy to see him get it done. I'm not mad after the race. I'm happy the most deserving driver won. Congrats to Heim on winning the championship. So now, let's talk about the other contenders for the championship and talk about some drivers who had really good runs tonight. So Ty Majeski finished his 2nd. Really solid night for Ty Majeski. Majeski was the best of the rest of the championship contenders. Majeski could keep up with Heim on the early runs, but it seemed like on the longer runs, Heim's truck was definitely a lot better. And Majeski was losing ground, especially near the end. It seemed like his truck wasn't there like it was last year, but he had a really good night, kept up with Heim. I thought he was going to win the championship on that final restart, but still a great night for Majeski. One of his best runs of the year. He finished his 2nd. Caden Honeycutt finished 3rd. Caden's truck was really, really good after the restart violation. Had the restart violation not happen, I think he could have been absolutely a major factor for the win. Caden has a great night, gets his 4th top 5 of the year. Caden is, of course, expected to, I believe, replace Cory Heim in the 11 truck next year, if I'm not mistaken. So good night for Caden. Just not enough to win the championship tonight. He finishes in 3rd. And then Tyler Ankrum got caught up in the last crash and incident. Ankrum struggled all night long. He ran between 14th and 17th all night long. They tried to gamble, never really gained any ground near the end. Was probably going to finish 10th before the caution came out there for the Connor Mosack incident. But then he got caught up in the big crash, which I guess is Carbon and McAnally for basically almost screwing out the outcome of the event. Tyler, though, didn't have enough to get it done, just no pace and speed. He finished as 14th in the race, and that's how they finished for the championship contenders. Let's talk about some drivers who had really good runs tonight. Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs was going to win the race before that last caution came out. Lane's truck was really, really strong and really fast. Had a great truck. I mean, he's going to be a championship contender next year because he's going to be back with front row next season. Lane had a really good night all night long, just not enough to get the victory, but good run for him. He finishes in 4th. Roger Kroof gets a top 5. Great run for Roger Kroof tonight. He had a really good truck early. Got caught up, I think, a little bit in the incident near the end of the event, but gets a really strong top 5. Great end of the season as Roger transitions to Junior Motorsports next year in Xfinity. Good night for Roger to finish in the top 5. Jake Garcia finished 6th, ran top 10 a lot of the event, had a really solid night all night long, showed some good pace and speed, decent end to the season for him. Corey LaJoie finishes 7th. Corey LaJoie had a really good season with Spire Motorsports and Trucks. I think he ran 10 races with the team this year, and I think he scored 6 or 7 top 10s in that span. Had a fantastic night tonight, ran inside the top 10, showed some decent speed out there, and gets a really strong top 10 finish in 7th. Good run for him. Chandler Smith finished 8th. Chandler had a lot of speed early. Unfortunately, had a flat tire in stage number 1 that took him out of contention for the victory tonight, but still a really solid night nonetheless for Chandler to score a top 10 finish. Good night. He finishes 8th. Tyler Wright finished 9th. In his first ever Truck Series start, he scores a top 10 run. Not bad for Tyler. He was in the top 10 and contending for top 10 early. Faded back a little bit as the night went on, but he does get a strong top 10 finish in 9th. Solid night for him. Jack Wood finishes 10th. Matt Mills finished 11th. Stephen Parsons finished 12th. Want to give Stephen Parsons a huge shout out. He had a great run tonight. He ran inside the top 10 a majority of this race. In my opinion, had a top 10 truck. One of his best runs I've ever seen him put together. He deserved a chance to get a good opportunity, and he earned the right to have a good run tonight. Good run for Stephen. He finished 12th. Matt Crafton finishes 13th in his final full-time Truck Series start. That's a decent finish in your final full-time start in the series. Matt was inside the top 20, moved up early, was a top 15 truck most of the night, so not a bad night for Matt, as Ty Majeski, of course, will take over the 88 truck going into next year. Solid night for Crafton for his standards. He finished 13th. Tyler Ankrum finished 14th. Nathan Berg gets top 15 and 15th, not a bad run for him. Luke Baldwin finishes 16th. Spencer Boyd finishing 17th. Gray Van Alls finished 18th. Frankie Muniz gets top 20 and 19th place. Clayton Green finishing 20th. Tanner Gray, who had a ton of damage, finished 21st. Caleb Koster finished 22nd. Cole Butcher finished 23rd. Grant Enfinger finished 24th. Tony Breidinger finished 25th. Connor Mosak finished 26th. Bailey Curry finished 28th. Brent 27th. Brent Cruz finished 28th. Brent had a great run tonight, just unfortunately got a ton of damage on his truck and had the axle break. He was going to be in position to contend for this win, in my opinion. He's been really good in the Truck Series this year. We'll probably make more starts with Tricon next year. Ben Rose finished 29th. Andres Perez finished 30th. Gio Ruggiero finished 31st. Mason Maggio finished 32nd. Daniel Hemrick finished 33rd. And Dawson Sutton finished last in 34th place. Before I go, let's again talk about it. Congratulate Cory Heim on a well-deserved championship. He earned this championship tonight. Congratulations. Going to go down as one of the most dominant seasons in Truck Series history. 12 wins this year, 19 top 5s, 21 top 10s. Well-deserved championship. 1,600 laps led minimum. Led nearly half the laps he entered. He earned the championship tonight. Gets it done. Congratulations, Cory Heim, on getting it done and winning the Truck Series title. His first Truck Series championship. Hopefully he can find a full-time ride for next year because he's not going to be back in the 11 truck more than likely. Great night. Congratulations again to Cory Heim on winning the Truck Series championship. He earned it. One of the most historic seasons in Truck Series history. Good to see Heim get it done. So that is going to be for the Craftsman Truck Series Championship review from Phoenix. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Notifications on. Soon if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Let's get below that and comment your thoughts below on today's video. Congratulations, Cory Heim, on winning the championship. Let me know your thoughts on the 2025 Truck Series season. And once again, congratulations, Heim, on winning the title. Tomorrow on the channel, we're going to be doing a video talking about the State of Sport address that happened earlier today. We're going to talk about a lot of things around OEMs, manufacturer stuff, talk about the playoff format, talk about that a little bit because there was some discussion on that today, and some updates on the lawsuit with that as well. We're also going to have reactions to Cup qualifying, and we're going to be talking about the Xfinity Champion, and then, of course, on Sunday, we'll have the Cup Series Championship reactions, and at least we'll have the race review, and then, of course, we'll have the starting lineup video coming out the Monday. We're probably going to have a silly season update if there's not a ton of news to talk about, and we got a lot of fun content dropping on the channel soon. We got content coming on people like Haley Deegan, Shane Gisborne, Carl Edwards, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Sheldon Creed, Sam Merritt, Frankie Muniz, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Preece, Carson Quaffle, Junior Motorsports, Connor Zilish, Daniel Suarez, other people like Eric Almirola, Chandler Smith, you name it, Cletus Farr and Dodge Ram will talk about on the channel in the coming days and the weeks as well. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.